Hello, Kat. How are you? I set up some real drums, and they sound really great. I'm sort of redesigning this room that I'm in. It sounds really good. I might just play a little bit so you can hear what it sounds like. And it's sort of inspiring to be playing something that sounds really good after playing that weird little practice kit that I've been working with the last couple months that doesn't sound so good. So here's what this sounds like. Sounds good, right? Yeah, anyways, it's nice to be playing something that sounds good. So, diving into our lesson. Thank you. Thank you. Everything's nailed. You nailed everything. It sounds great. Let's talk about those rhythms first. So this page, 1E and 2E and 1 and 2 and yep. Totally cool. You're playing it great. I know it's probably a little boring, but it's really important. But let's expand on this a little bit. So we were at 45, I believe. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and... Okay, so I think we should do two things with this for this week. One thing we should do is speed it up. And grab a pen here. So let's think about tempo. Could we go to 70 perhaps? 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I think that's doable. Could we go to 80? Maybe we could go to 80. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E. I kind of like 80. If we could hit 80. If we can't, it's cool. So basically what you would do, in order to get up to 80, start at 45 and play at 45 for a couple minutes. Turn your metronome up to 50. Play it at 50 for a couple minutes. Turn your metronome up to 55. Play it at 55 for a couple minutes, etc. Go up in increments of 5 until you get to 80. That might not all happen in one day. It could take a few days. It could take a whole week. It could take a few weeks. We don't know. But I don't think it'll be too bad. You should be able to get it in a week if you practice it. So, but that's the method. Eventually, when you get more comfortable playing and you're playing things that are easy enough for you to play, then you can make those big jumps, like no problem. But I think for now and for a lot of things like, that are still new or still a little bit challenging, it makes sense to kind of slowly go up like that. So here's 80. So let's get the first one here and the second one here comfortable at 80. So I'll demonstrate that. Here's the first one. Okay, and here's the second one. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so easy enough. So that's one thing that we're going to do with this. The second thing, and let me write 80 on here before I forget. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to make a loop out of these. So what we'll do is play the first line, and then we read it right into the second line, and then there's like an imaginary repeat here, and we go back to the beginning. So line 1, right into line 2, line 1, right into line 2, right into line 1, right into line 2. Makes sense? So we're creating a loop, a 2-measure loop. The first measure is da 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 da. The second measure is da 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 da. Okay, and this will force you to really understand the difference between those two when you have to switch back and forth between them. And we can start this at 45. So we'll go back to 45. 2, 3, 4. Notice that at the end of the second measure, going back to the first measure, you end up with 5 notes in a row, right? Because you have 4 and do, 1 E and 4 and do, 1 E and. Okay. All right. So it's a very simple concept, but it's a little bit trickier than you might think. So just pay attention to the details there. Make sure you're doing it right. If you don't get it, ask me a question. It's no problem. I'll demonstrate it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If that's easy for you and you want to speed it up, then speed it up. You're in charge of yourself. So, cool. Again, the goal there is to get very comfortable with both of these things. So speeding them up to 80 like we were doing before, spend 5 minutes on each one and do that every day for a whole week. And then doing the loop, part 2 of what we just looked at, the loop. Again, sit on that for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, get really comfortable. If you're making mistakes, it's probably because you're not focused or you got distracted by something mentally, because that's what happens to humans. Okay, groovy. So that's that. Now we'll look at the 16th note backbeat groove. So that's great. You added the other kick drum. So you're playing this now, and you added this kick drum, and the left foot still looked good. Everything was still cool. So let's add the last kick drum that we had, which looking, again, we're shooting to play this whole thing. We're almost there. We got all of this. We just need to add this last kick drum on the of beat 4. Okay, so I'll draw that in here, and you can draw that in on whatever you're looking at so you remember. Cool. So now it looks like that, which is the same exact thing as that. These are now the same, so we can get that happening. We got the whole thing, which will be awesome because we've been doing this for a long time, and I'm sure you're ready to move on. Cool. So I'll demonstrate this. One thing to keep in mind, because I know this is always something to consider with this type of groove, is that the of 4 goes right back to beat 1. So you end up with 2 kick drums right next to each other, even though it doesn't look like that. That's what happens because we have that repeat there. So the of 4 comes right back to 1. So you end up with 2 kick drums in a row. I can't remember the exact tempo you were at, but it doesn't really matter. You're probably around 60, so I'll put it on 60. That down there. So we had toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. All right, so that's easy enough. Show me that for next week. Ask me questions if it's confusing, but should be straight ahead. And now we'll look at flams. And yes, your flams look great. They actually look really good. Better than I expected, since you haven't really showed them to me yet. You've been still kind of roughing around, not sure what you're doing. But now you know what you're doing, right? They're easy, right? Once you get it, it's like, oh, that's a flam, no big deal. And your right side and your left side, they both look like, for only practicing them for like a week, they looked really good. So again, the goal there is just consistency, trying to get them the same spacing every time, trying to get your left side and your right side both the same, all of those similar things. Consistency is really important when it comes to this instrument. It seems like that's all I talk about is consistency. But anyways, so I think what we should do is, you're probably ready. Maybe you're not, but I think you are. They look pretty comfy. Is to alternate back and forth, starting with a right-handed flam and then going to a left-handed flam. So if you look at your rudiment page, down here at flams, we're essentially reading what's on the page now. Now that we know how to play flams, we're going to do it as it's written. So alternating right-handed flam, left-handed flam, right-handed flam, left-handed flam in 4-bar phrases. And just practice that a whole bunch until it's comfortable. Cool. So I'll demonstrate that. Again, with the rudiment stuff, we're kind of hanging out at 70 for this, for your metronome. But maybe that's a little too fast. You could hang out at 60 until this feels good, but see if you can get it up to 70. I think 60 is pretty reasonable as a starting place. So it would be right-handed flam, left-handed flam. Right-handed flam, left-handed flam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You may find that you're forgetting which side is which at times, and you get lost in there. That might happen. If it does, it's okay. Just continue to go slow. Slow it down more if you have to. I'll show you this at 70 as well, because that's where we're headed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Cool. So that should make sense. Once we get those flams happening like that, then we continue down the page, and the next one will be flam taps, which is flam with a tap. You'll see when we get there. Or you can look at it now and just figure it out and show it to me. That would be cool too. You're always welcome to go ahead with this stuff if it makes sense for you. You're always welcome to show me different ways of doing things that feel good to you. You're always welcome to do things at different tempos than I give you. Realize that eventually you're in control of yourself when you're on this instrument. And I'm not going to be there to, tell you what to do. And nor would I want to be, nor would you want that. So the sooner you want to make decisions on your own, the better, as far as I'm concerned. I'll always expect you to kind of do what I present to you, but like I said, if you want to expand on things or show me different things, that's a good thing, because when it comes down to it, this is music, this is art, and you're going to need to tap into that side of you and be willing to show that to people. Cool. Which is the fun part, by the way. So, all right. I think that's it for today. We got the flams like that. We got the 16th note backbeat groove. We're wrapping that up. And then we have these two rhythms. We're trying to play both of them faster. And then we created a loop that will start at 45 and we'll get faster if we can. Cool. All right. I guess that's it for today. Thanks again for your hard work. Appreciate it. And I hope you're doing well. And I'll talk to you next week. All right. Bye.